And of course, it had to be him. The Premier League has begun and we are going to be talking Aston Villa. But if you do enjoy Aston Villa content on YouTube and Premier League content in general, I implore you to leave a like on this video, comment your thoughts on the West Ham game down below, and subscribe for all the latest and greatest Aston Villa content on YouTube. With that out of the way, let's review Aston Villa 2, West Ham 1. And it's 3 points on the board for Unai Emery's boys straight away. So as you can see on the screen next to me is the match stats from this game. It was an away day at the London Stadium against a good opposition in West Ham, new manager and plenty of new signings, but I think they did underwhelm their fans and me. I thought they were going to be a lot better than this. I thought they were still pretty good and all the signs are there that they're going to do very, very well this season, and the stats really would say that this was quite an even game, quite a close game. We had one more shot, the same amount of shots on target, less possession, less passes as regards to them as well, less corners as well as West Ham. But let me tell you, stats don't mean everything and stats don't get you 3 points, and I think anyone that watched this game would probably agree that Aston Villa deserved to win, probably more than 2-1. I think the penalty was harsh. We're going to get onto that a little bit later. Of course, you knew we were going to get onto that a little bit later. I think that was harsh on Matty Cash because he did win the ball first. I can see why it was given, but I think with VAR it should have been overruled. Leon Bailey should have scored. We had a couple of other chances of the likes of Rodgers and McGinn to go close as well, and we just wasted quite a few chances in the early part of the game. So those stats to me don't really tell the whole story. But we'll get into the game itself, and it all started so well. It started brilliantly. About 4 minutes into the game, a lovely corner by Yuri Tielemans, who I thought was outstanding, by the way, in this game, got floated in, and it's clearly something that we've worked on because there was just such a clear path for our new signing, and his name isn't Andre, it is Amadou Onana, just to literally sprint into the front post unmarked. He absolutely lost Mikel Antonio. Max Kilman was stuck in the mud, and it's a fantastic header into the floor, which is exactly what you're taught to do when you're heading a ball from a corner. Put it into the floor and give the keeper something to do. Areola had no chance, and it was 1-0 to Aston Villa. From then we carried on with the pressure and Morgan Rogers players, and the finish just wasn't there. It was a chance wasted more than a chance created in the end, but fantastic work from Rodgers, another player who was brilliant in the way that he progressed the ball in this game. Leon Bailey is too many, and then hit the post when it was effectively an open goal, and he allowed Kilman to recover and be there to block the shot if it was going to go on target anyway. So that should have really been at least 2-0. From there is when the controversy happens. If I can find a good picture of it, I'll pop it up on the screen, or a good video of it. But the ball comes into the box, and Matty Cash lunges, does get a touch on the ball before he takes out the player, and then it's just a tangling of legs. Player goes down, referee gives the foul. VAR for some reason says that yes, Matty Cash did play the ball and touch it first, but he didn't intend to play the ball, or it wasn't a deliberate action to play the ball. The ball bounces behind him, he turns around, looks directly at the ball, sticks his leg out, gets a toe on the ball, and then the man goes down afterwards. For me, not a penalty. I think it's overturned in maybe last season. But I mean, the excuse that the Sky Sports pundits, who are clearly just wanting to keep their jobs and keep the Premier League and FA happy, gave was that, this is good. VAR isn't just going to go and overturn the decisions. The referees are going to have more power again. But the whole point of VAR is that these fine decisions, these fine, minute decisions, they should have the power to say, he gets the ball first. That's clear as day. Their excuse that he wasn't going for the ball but got it anyway is ridiculous. If this was given, so say we got this penalty, say it was Max Kilman on Ollie Watkins, I guarantee you, and I'm not just saying this because it happened against us, bookmark this, save this, and if it happens to us later on in the season and I'm a hypocrite, please call me out on it. But if this was given as a penalty for Aston Villa, I would be sat here saying, we got lucky with that one, it shouldn't have been a penalty. Just my opinion, comment down below, what did you guys think? But for me, not a penalty. And then obviously Lucas Paqueta steps up, scores it. Fair enough, that is 1-1. West Ham go close. Villa have a tendency, once we concede one, we fall apart at the back a little bit. It happened against Borussia Dortmund in pre-season. Luckily, Emi Martinez with a good save, brings us on to the second half, and for the first 20 so minutes of the second half, again it was much the same. West Ham were really in control of the game. They weren't really threatening Villa's goal very much, but it was very much a West Ham dominant game, and you expect these shifts in momentum and in possession. And then we bring on the subs. Ian Maatsen, Jacob Ramsey, Jhon Duran, eventually Costa Nedeljkovic as well, coming on to the field of play, replacing the likes of McGinn and Watkins. That was the first sub. Watkins didn't look up to pace for me. I think he probably still needs a bit more game time to get up to full match fitness after not having a pre-season. Jhon Duran came on for him. Jacob Ramsey came on for McGinn. He offers us a completely different dimension to McGinn. Eventually Philogene came on for Leon Bailey, who was on a yellow card. Matty Cash was injured, that's why Costa came on. And then obviously Ian Maatsen as well. And Maatsen had to be Duran who scored this goal. He didn't throw up the X, which I really wanted him to do just for banter. But instead, he told the fans, I'm sorry, but I'm staying here. It was a lovely ball from Pau. It's what he does best, getting on the ball and progressing us up the pitch to Maatsen. An absolutely lovely cushioned pass inside to Ramsey. He cuts it back. A seasoned finish for a 20-year-old from Jhon Duran, and it is 2-1 to Aston Villa, and that was all she wrote. West Ham went really close in the 98th minute, but some great defending from Ezri Konsa, which we're just used to nowadays, saved us from the draw, and we go home back to B6 with 3 points, a perfect opening day. So I want to dive into the player ratings for this game, but before we do that, I want to highlight a couple of things. If I bring up this tweet from John Townley, who's a fantastic journalist, almost specifically covers Aston Villa. Sorry, my nose is really runny. I'm still not feeling 100%. On Twitter, please go and give him a follow. He is absolutely brilliant. And he breaks down Onana's debut effectively. 1 goal, 9 duels won, the most of any player on the pitch. 3 clearances, 6 ball recoveries, 97% pass accuracy, 100% successful dribbles, 100% accurate long balls. Onana was absolutely everywhere. I was so impressed. He looks like an absolute giant on the pitch. Well, I know he's only 1 inch taller than Morgan Rogers, but he just towered over everyone. He was so impressive. Probably one of the better debuts I've seen from a Villa player in recent years. If I go across here, another player that I want to highlight, and I said it at the start, is Youri Tielemans. The most chances created, 3 of any player during Aston Villa's win over West Ham yesterday. I thought Youri Tielemans was absolutely brilliant. It's clear that he's the best passer in the team. He was running the tempo of the game, and whenever he's on the ball, I just feel calm. I feel calm when he's on the ball because I know he is going to do something absolutely brilliant with it, and I thought he was outstanding yesterday. So much so that I've got an away kit on the way with Bailey on the back because I think he's one of the better players. I really enjoy Bailey. I think he's brilliant. But I don't have any printing on my home kit, and I think when I go, I'm going to try and get tickets to the Wolves game. I think I'm going to get Tielemans printed on the back. That's how much I rate him this season. And then finally, Ezri Konsa and Pau Torres both won 100% of their duels during the win. So that is a little bit of an explanation as to possibly some player ratings that you might be seeing from me coming forward. But if I skirt over a little bit more and pop up my player ratings on the screen, Emi Martinez didn't have too much to do, but when it was needed, he was there, so he gets a 7 from me. Could do nothing about the penalty. It is what it is. It's a penalty. If there was 5 penalties, I'd back him to save probably at least 2. But it was just 1 penalty, a very good penalty from Lucas Paqueta, and it was what it was. 7 for him. Luca Digne, for me, was really impressive in this game. I actually really thought he staked a claim to be the second left back for the season, and that has almost been confirmed by the fact that Unai Emery has said that Moreno will be the one that will be leaving the club imminently, so he gets a 7 from me as well. Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa, I don't think they've done much wrong this game. A great ball from Pau Torres to set free Maatsen in the build-up to the second goal, and Ezri Konsa effectively saved the game and got all 3 points for us with that absolutely brilliant goal line clearance, and then just putting his body on the line in the 98th minute when I think it was either Kufal or Souček skied the ball over the line. Pau Torres I want to give an 8 to, and Ezri Konsa, just for that goal line clearance, I am going to give a 9. Matty Cash, yes, he gave the penalty away. I don't think it was a penalty. He was getting twisted inside and out by Kudus, but generally came out on top of the duel, so he gets a 7 from me as well. I still think he needs to be upgraded though. Remember, be nice to everyone apart from Matty Cash. That comment on one of my videos absolutely killed me. It was absolutely brilliant. Moving on to the midfield, and John McGinn gets a 7 from me. Progressed the ball well, used his bunda in a way that only John McGinn can. That thing is mystical, it has its own centre of gravity, and if I ever interview him, I'm going to get a selfie with John McGinn's cheeks. Moving in to the midfield, and Amadou Onana, we're going to start with him, and he, for me, gets a 10 out of 10. He's my man of the match. I've never been so impressed with a midfielder on a debut for Aston Villa in my lifetime. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. He was everywhere. Defensive presence in the air, which is something that Aston Villa very much needed. Got a goal. I've brought up all of his stats previously. Every time he got the ball, again, the only thing I think he lacks is an ability to progress the ball forward as well as the likes of Youri Tielemans, but that's not really what he's in the team to do right now. He done his job exceptionally, and I don't think he put a foot wrong. Youri Tielemans, I'm actually going to give a 9.5. It was so close. I really wanted to give man of the match to Youri because I thought he was brilliant. Dictated the tempo of the game, progressed us forward, passing range, dribbling. Everything's there for me. What a signing for free, by the way. I think he's going to be very important for Aston Villa this season. Moving on to the right-hand side, Leon Bailey, I would give a 7. A bit of a quiet game for him. Did get booked early on, stupidly. Just a petulant challenge, dragging a West Ham player back on the counter-attack. Did miss the open goal, but still got himself into that opportunity, and he always looks like a threat. Moving on to up front, Ollie Watkins, I'd have to give a 6. Didn't really do much this game. Don't think he is fully match fit. And Morgan Rogers, I would give an 8. He really just progresses the ball forward and carries the ball into the final third like no other. And again, I don't think he really done much wrong this game. In terms of the substitutes, we're going to go from the back and work our way forward. Kostan Adelkovic, I'm going to have to give a 5. Gave the ball away a couple of times. He was clearly nervous. He's 18 years old. It's his Premier League debut. I think he has loads of potential. I'm glad that he got his first minutes. Ian Maatson has to get an 8 for his involvement in that second goal. He was actually really, really good in like the 16 or so minutes that he did get, but the way he cushioned that ball back for Jacob Ramsey, outstanding. That's why he was the Champions League left back of the season. Moving forward to Jacob Ramsey, and he gets an 8 again. Came on, got an assist. That's all you need him to do. Jaden Philogene over on the right hand side, I think a 6. Didn't really get much involvement in the game. A couple of good runs, a couple of good recovery tackles as well, but did give the ball away a couple of times. I think he just needs a little bit more time to get used to the speed of the Premier League. And then the big one, Jhon Duran gets a bloody 9 because he won us the game, and it had to be him. 9. But my man of the match, Amadou Onana. And there you go. My main takeaways from the game is that Villa were much better than we were in pre-season. We've finally gone and got a decent result on an opening day of the season. Feels like a little while, especially after the 5-1 defeat at Newcastle. It's a win away from home. West Ham, a bogey team for us. And overall, I think we played really, really well. And when the likes of Maatson are available to start from the beginning of games, we are going to be an absolute danger. It was a pleasure to watch, and hey, we won. So I'm happy. Arsenal, next week, I'll see you guys for a preview very, very soon. Hopefully 1 or 2 more videos in the meantime as well. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. And as always, up the Villa. Be nice to everyone, including Matty Cash, because we won. And I'll see you again later.